Got a lot to cover. Let's get moving here. What's up with my hair? Okay. Lawsuits galore. Zillow is being punched and kicked and dragged through the mud. And it's, I kind of feel bad for it because, they used to be like Mr. America, the king of the campus. And now everybody's kind of like kicking him and dragging him through the dirt. I get it. He was a little cocky. He was a little arrogant, but he also disrupted the industry, which I like, right? Even though I'm in that industry, and it kind of hurt us as a whole on the industry. To me, disruption is great, I think, because it's the forward advancement of technology and how we're going to live as human beings. And there's all this talk about how AI is going to disrupt and nobody's ever going to work. And some people are saying we have to go to guaranteed income. I don't know, right? The point is we do this every decade or so, and there's new technologies that disrupt. And with AI, just like the radio, still around. It's not as useful anymore, but it's still around, right? Less people will be in radio as time goes on because I prefer podcasts. I prefer going to my podcast and listening to that versus listening to some news channel or whatever. Or if I want to listen to music, I have an app for that. It's the same thing with print, right? I was a print guy for many years and I hung on for many years. And when I say I was a print guy, I sold advertising in magazines in the technical journals for test and measurement world, electronic products, and all these different little magazines all over the place. And it was print and online, and we did all this stuff. And the heads of the state could never get their head around grasping the internet and using print as a leverage. And some guys I competed against did that well. Right. And they did a better dance of, we have this print, but we also have our trade shows, we have our internet, we have our marketing and all that. We'll do it all for you. And all that combined with this is just part of the leverage. This is a value add. You're going to have to pay for the printing and the whatever, but we're just doing this because we need to substantiate postage and print and paper and all that other stuff. Well, nowadays, print is dead. Pick up a technical journal. I don't care what industry you're in. And I can guarantee you it's paper thin because there's no need for it. There's no ROI. There's no generation. So anyway, going back to this, Zillow is great because it became the de facto standard for consumers to go and use because of the user interface, right? I struggle with my MLS. My MLS is not consumer friendly. I get it. I totally understand it. There's other companies that have consumer friendly websites, but then it's an aggregate of it, right? You have to look at Compass and Century 21 and Redfin and Real and all these other places. And then you get the makeup of that whole audience. Well, use my website. I'm just an agent. I'm one agent of 1.2 to 1.5 million agents out there that has a website, right? So Zillow was great for that. It was just a no-brainer. Same with Redfin, right? But shame on them if they did this. If I'm not the kind of person that will throw them under the bus and call them guilty right away. I just don't do that. I want them to go through the legal process. If this is true, shame on them. If not, well, then they want another lawsuit, right? An Oregon resident alleges Zillow practices violate Washington state consumer protection law and federal real estate law. Let's go deeper into this. Zillow is well aware of the potential for ill-gotten gains in this space and has sought to play let me open this up so you can read it. Seattle-based Zillow in a statement said it will defend against the claims. Okay, so real when real people's basic need of housing is on the table. Here's the thing about Zillow, right? And if you don't know, here's the truth. And I don't care if you use them or not, but here's the way they work. Their revenue model is give you as a consumer an amazing adventure, a great user interface, chock full of information. Absolutely. If you want to call and learn more about that listing, that means you're a buyer. And it used to be that one buyer would click that link, see this house. You would get a call from 4 or 5 agents. Hey, I want to show you a house, want to show you a house, want to show you a house. That's evolved into multiple iterations. And today what it is Zillow takes 40% of the buyer's commission. They don't tell you that up front. Maybe they do now because of lawsuits, but they didn't. So if I made $10,000, they would take 4 and my broker would get 6, and then I get the split off of that. And then it was kind of a pain in the ass, right? That's just the way it works. That's the way it is. Multiple agents have signed on for this. I never did because I didn't like the business model. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm saying that this is just not a way for me to go to business. I just don't want to have another split with another entity. And I would rather have personal relationships with my clients versus a transactional relationship. I'm not selling against it. I think this is a fantastic model. I think it's smart the way they do it. They made billions of dollars doing this, right? The problem here, what they're alleging, just to wrap it up, to put a bow on it, they have artificially, the claim really sets down that they artificially increase the commission, saying that if you work with me, if I'm a buyer's agent transactionally working with you because of Zillow, I know I have to make as much money as I can, so I'm going to charge you 3%. Period. That's negotiable, right? You can negotiate with it, and then you start off at 3, and then the claim is, oh, we'll get the seller to pay for it. We'll get the seller to pay for it, and then sometimes it happens, right? But if I work with you and I have a personal relationship with you, I work with you on it, right? I don't charge 3%. There you go. FTC sues Zillow and Redfin over illegal agreement to suppress rental advertising. Not only did Zillow help the residential sales market, they also do new homes. They also do bank homes. They also do this and this and this and this, but they also do the rental market. I can tell you straight up, our MLS is horrible for rentals. People come to me and say, do you work on rentals? No, I don't. I don't have that. It's too disparate. It's too, you go to Craigslist, you go to this, you go to rent.com, you go to apartment.com, which Redfin or Zillow owns, and they give you a great user experience. Okay. Same thing with Redfin. Same thing with a bunch of other sites that are out there, apartments.com, rent.com, homes.com, blah, blah, blah. Zillow and Redfin made a deal that Redfin would pull back away from the ILS, which is the rental MLS, because our MLS sucks at it. Our MLS never really focused on that as a value add for you, the consumer, because our MLS is not user friendly. That's where we fall down. So, we have the NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and you have California Association of Realtors, and you have your local MLSs, and all of them have weaknesses that they just stick their head in the sand for. They just don't want to be a part of it. And Zillow does a great job doing this. Gives you as a consumer a great experience, chock full of information. It allows you to be educated about what's going on. And you as a consumer can go in and look at a house before you ever step foot in it and do a 360 tour. You can do all this stuff. Yeah, we do that all. That's all part of our marketing, but Zillow uses that and allows you to decide, is this house priced correctly? Is it overpriced? Is it underpriced? Is it a good value? Where should this really be? And that kind of stuff. And it shows you where it is. It does the same thing with the rentals too. But Redfin and Zillow have agreed that Zillow will take over the rental market. Now that FTC is having a problem with, and that's what this is all about. By the way, all these links are in my blog. The blog link is in the copy down below in the description. So feel free to go and read through this, right? The FTC alleges that the unlawful agreement will likely lead to higher prices and worse terms for multifamily unit. This is anti-competitive, right? Reduce incentives for Zillow and Redfin to compete for renters through investment in attracting visitors. So what's going to happen is Zillow and Redfin are going to merge through this, and then that'll go away. Just my thoughts. I mean, what the hell do I know? I'm just a real estate agent. Sorry, broker, if that matters. If you haven't downloaded this inspection checklist now, do it now, because it's a honey-do list for you. But ultimately, that's what it is. It'll allow you to organize and structure your honey-do list for when you do go to sell your house. Then we can have a conversation about, hey, should I put a new kitchen in? Should I put air conditioning in? Should I do a new roof? Should I fix my pool? Yes. Right? But you know that you're not going to get the ROI out of it unless you get some utility out of it. So that's the thing. It's like you go through this and you figure out what you want to fix, and we can have a conversation. That's it. 40 days on market have slowed down just a little bit. 90 days on market have slowed down a little bit. And bank owns are kind of meh. They're not doing anything crazy. Pendings aren't doing anything. So we're just kind of in a doldrum right now. We did see a slight tick up in closed and pendings for Santa Clara County, but in San Jose, it went down. Pendings went up just a tad bit. All right, 90-day home of the week, Rengstorff Avenue, not my listing, 1.75, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a detached single-family home, and this is what it looks like. Hopefully, oh yeah, that's awesome that you don't put the first picture of the front there. I don't know what this house looks like, so curb appeal means nothing to me. Thanks for letting me fight for this. Hey, this is actually not a bad buy. You have a 2-car garage, it's detached, but there is an HOA. It's $250 a month, and it's in Mountain View. Problem is, it's been on market 133 days. Why? Maybe it's overpriced. Maybe it was in contract. Maybe it just needs some updating for that price. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. And then this is the distressed or bank-owned property of the week. This is bank-owned. It's brand spanking new. It's Arch Street in Redwood City. I think this is a fantastic buy because look, 7-bedroom, 4 full and 1/2 baths, 3,200 square feet, built this year, and it's right here in Redwood City. Here's the bonus, 68 days on market. Somebody took this as an investment and they're losing their ass on it. I think it's nice. I'm not a fan of this plastic floor. I don't like it. LVP, linoleum vinyl plank, LPV. Luxury plank vinyl, that's what it's called. Look, it's just another way of calling freaking vinyl. I don't like it. First thing I would do is tear that out and put wood floors in it. It's ridiculous. But this is a brand new home. It's very spacious, very big, and hopefully they can't even afford a 360, which is free, by the way. They have the floor plans and all that. You can do that for free with the apps you have as an agent, but you don't know that. This is an ADU, which is nice. That's why it's 7 bedrooms. It's kind of a good deal. Go in there and write crazy offers, see if they take it. All right. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Abitano. We'll see you out there.